chosen one. The energy around you has shifted so intensely that some people are realizing, oh, you're dangerous. They better tread lightly because a shocking transfer is on the way. The portal only opens once, and you're standing right at the threshold. Something is approaching you disguised as an offer, a reconnection, a responsibility, an opportunity. But your spirit is signaling danger. Your instincts are right. That situation that feels unstable, it is. You're not paranoid. You're perceptive. And your awakening terrifies them. Here's what the people around you see when looking at you. The sun, an influencer, a star, and it makes them feel like burnt-out light bulbs. Some of them have never met anyone quite like you, and it's destroying them from the inside out. Someone who used to feel on top of the mountain now feels like nobody when you're around. This person cannot figure out how that happened. Meeting you coincided with everything in their life going to pieces. But here's what nobody understands. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with how people treat others, how lies accumulate, how schemes backfire. The universe doesn't miss. You're about to watch karma collect every single debt owed. You have fair-weathered people around you, people who switch sides often, people who align with you when it benefits them, and against you when it doesn't. Here's what you need to understand about this dynamic. These people feel invisible around you, not because you're trying to overshadow anyone. People turn toward you, people listen to you, people are drawn to you. The ones who were used to being the center of attention suddenly feel like furniture, like extras in a movie where you're the star. And instead of being inspired, instead of learning, the decision has been made to destroy you. The attention you're receiving right now comes with hostility attached. Some people really want to make you pay. Some really want to make you suffer. Why? Because you're about to step into something massive. There's a great transformation taking place. A shocking transfer is on the way. Fortune is being transferred to you. Wealth is coming. Opportunities are opening. Doors are unlocking. And it's absolutely vital that as you see this, you don't get in your own way. You don't let manipulation keep you stuck. You don't allow guilt trips to work. Because this transfer cannot happen while you're still connected to certain people. It cannot manifest while access is still being granted. It cannot arrive while you're still in toxic energy fields. There's been an attempt to make it seem like karma is collective, like whatever consequences are being faced by others, you're supposed to face them too, like someone else's downfall is somehow your obligation to share. The performance suggests everyone is in this together, but you're not. Judgment Day is coming for certain people, and the plan is to drag you down with them. The calculation is that while going down, picking you up along the way will cushion the fall. Maybe you were warned not to work for certain people. Maybe you were warned not to go back to a certain relationship. Maybe you were warned and you thought, let me just see for myself. And now you're seeing for yourself and realizing that was probably a bad idea. You're not a victim of circumstance. You're the benefactor of this situation. Some people think you're going to go down, get dragged through the mud, and the plan is to step over your body afterward. It's not happening. You don't wallow in victim mentality. You choose to benefit off every situation. So while the expectation is devastation, while the hope is that you'll be writing about it in your diary, you're not going to be there. You're going to be gone, moved on, elevated, transferred, and consequences will be faced alone by those who created them because you finally listened to your intuition. What goes around comes around. You've been trying to keep a watchful eye, and every time you look you think, why did I even check? I don't want to know. But be on alert. Be aware of your surroundings. There's a red flag you've been ignoring. Allow the truth to be revealed. Stop being in denial. Stop busying yourself with other tasks to avoid facing reality. Stop trying to convince yourself certain people would share their last meal with you. Stop pretending this blessing is meant to be shared with people who've been blocking it. There's a truth being revealed right now. A mask is slipping. A lie is unraveling. A deception is being exposed. You need to pay attention. You've been embracing the dark, allowing yourself to feel and be present with those unlit parts of yourself, those coping mechanisms you wish you didn't have. You've been taking care of everybody around you instead of soothing yourself. You've been keeping yourself busy as a distraction, and you're just now realizing you do this. So whatever these patterns are, you're slowing down now. You're allowing the signs, the synchronicities, the truth, the protection, and the divine favor to come through. You're uncovering the hidden fears that have been holding you back from living your most authentic life. Have you been waking up not wanting to get out of bed, like you don't even want to know what this day is going to bring? That anxiousness isn't yours. That dread isn't yours. That energy doesn't belong to you. You need to rest in more ways than one. You need to reevaluate things, reprioritize, so you can have the audacity again to know what you deserve. Right now you're walking alone to embrace this darkness, walking alone to see why you shouldn't have gotten back in this relationship, why you shouldn't have come to work for these people, why you shouldn't have shared what you shared. There are certain things you need to sit with, certain realizations you need to process, and you have to walk alone to do it. You're seeing this message right now so you can jump in front of something that will be more shocking than it needs to be if you don't get ahead of it. Something has been intuitively bothering you. It's like an itch you can't scratch. And whoever you're dealing with, these people are wild. You have full permission to run, full permission to get out of there. The desire exists to keep you trapped, stuck, tethered, and you're seeing now that you were right. You were right the whole time. The goal has been to keep you down, hypnotized, in a trance, under someone else's rule. There have been attempts to wiggle out of lies for too long. Whoever you're dealing with is exactly who you think, but the skill at putting on a sweet face is remarkable. The act of doing things for you, the shocked response when called out, the insistence that harm would never be intentional, the claim of just trying to help. But you want to know how you're really seen. There's jealousy that you're starting to care for yourself, that you're loving yourself, that you're transforming before everyone's eyes. The upset comes from seeing you as a star, as an influencer, and knowing you're going to row your boat right out of this relationship, right out of this situation. Self-care bothers certain people. Standing up for yourself bothers them even more. You're going through a great transformation, and when you look in the mirror, some people want you to see what's being said about you. The desire is for you to see yourself through a distorted lens. The hope is that you'll believe a false narrative about who you are. But you're not who anyone says you are. Someone is going through a lot, but their life needs improvement that is not your job to fix. The attempt is being made to make you do all the heavy lifting, to make you pay for things that aren't yours, to make you believe someone else's consequences are yours, to convince you that you're cuffed with a ball and chain that cannot be escaped. But you can escape, and the way you tell truth, the way you see things clearly, it's hated. Authenticity is hated when lies are being protected. But you're no longer going to distract yourself. You're no longer going to settle and stay there as a last resort. Some people want you to believe there's no way for you to leave. Some people have terrible things coming, and you're going to watch this unfold. You've been seeing repeating numbers everywhere. These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations. The universe is giving you sign after sign. It's time to deliver the news that you're breaking up, that you're leaving, that you're moving out, that you're taking what's yours. Whatever you're about to do, you're about to stand 10 feet tall. If this message awakens something within you, hype this video for other chosen ones who need to hear this. Will there be a fit throne? Absolutely. Because love bombing isn't working anymore. Gaslighting isn't landing anymore. Manipulation has lost its power. The inability to even deal with this reality is setting in. When things really hit the fan, where is this person? Dodging you, hiding, blaming you. The desire is for you to feel like you're someone's only option, like you're all someone has when you're top tier, you're superior, you're irreplaceable. This is not a good person. This is not someone who treats you with unconditional love. Respect is absent. One thing gets said and another thing gets done. You're about to set yourself up for success in the long run by walking away from this. I know you've been warned. I know you've been told, but this is another confirmation that you need. It's time. You're ascending. That's why you cannot be in denial about this anymore. You're about to release. You're about to reset. Because you're supposed to be influential somewhere else. You will not be influential in this environment. You will not be influential with this person or in this relationship, so you have to release it. You have to let it go so you can be in your purpose, in your influence, in your power. Because when you're not around, terrible things are said about you. When you are around, you're treated like a saving grace, and it's sick that there are people like this, but it's a lesson for sure. The things said about you are terrible, and I know you can guess what those things are. But the hiding happens when things hit the fan. The knowledge exists that Judgment Day is coming, and the plan is to bring you along for the consequences. So many people underestimated you. So many slept on you. So many were looking forward to seeing you get broken up with, or dragged into drama. The excitement was real about watching you fall. But the wrong one got overlooked. Someone here has been acting like wealth can be created for you, like the finer things can be provided. But here's the truth. You haven't seen any proof of what's been promised. You haven't seen evidence of anything that was supposed to happen. All talk, no action. All promises, no delivery. There's another dynamic happening. You have a lot of people paying attention to you right now, creeping, trying to get your attention. And it's not just one person. It's all these other people outside of that, who feel invisible when you're around. The decision has been made to band together, to link up, to form alliances against you. Because the discomfort of how you make people feel about themselves is real. The insecurity is collective. So the gang up is happening. The attempt to act like you don't exist is underway, because that's how you make certain people feel, like nobody exists when you're present. And it's eating everyone alive. Some people wish disrespect could be delivered to your face, but intimidation runs deep. So the approach is to take your kindness for weakness. Whoever this is, insult is always being added to injury. This is just not a good person. The way you handle business is disliked. Your approach is criticized. And if you stay around this person, you either have to dim yourself or constantly give until you have nothing left. The drain is energetic through drama, through labor, through constantly needing things. The need is always there for something from you. And dealing with this person will cause financial strain if you don't follow the signs. Because that wealth transfer cannot come in while you're around certain people. It's not meant to come in while toxic connections are being entertained. Get ready to be vindicated, because you're not going to let anyone step over your body. It's not happening. You're seen as a threat, as an influencer, as a star, as the sun, and the comparison being made is to a shade lamp trying to compete. The audacity, the fear is real that you're going to wise up and walk away. Something is making you feel tethered to this situation, whether it's livelihood or finances. Something is making you feel like you can't leave. But most of all, the anger exists that so many people look up to you. That whatever you do it effortlessly, and it frustrates everyone because the time invested by others has been so much longer than yours. There's a lot of jealousy about the way you carry yourself. People are saying, oh, this person thinks being better than everyone is acceptable. But you're in a position of power, and you're needed, but the admission of that need is being avoided. That's the other people involved in this. Some type of way is felt about how you dress, about how you present yourself. You emanate a lot of light, and it blinds people. I don't know if this environment is for you. It's unfortunate because you might be trying to make others feel safe. You might be trying to help others find their way. But you're starting to see that you have to walk alone, that this is kind of a lost cause, because you're around too many people who will never be satisfied. That's the bottom line. Conflict with you will always exist. Enmity will always be present. Trouble will always be caused. The dust will never be allowed to settle. Satisfaction will never be achieved. And that's terrible because you're trying to change your whole life, and you can't change your life around these people. You can't even tell people you're excited about something. You feel like you have to hide your excitement in this environment. You're becoming resentful of the fact that you can't say what your goals are, because hatred comes your way for having goals. What does that tell you? It tells you belief exists that you will achieve them. If you had no legitimacy, if you were just talking nonsense, nobody would care. But when you say something, people know you'll do it. The timing might be unknown, but the achievement is certain in their minds. So jealousy exists for what you have, and you haven't even gone out to get it yet. You haven't even started, and envy is already present. That's wild. Be careful. Some people are trying to figure out how to get closer to you. Some are trying to bait you into a standoff or public confrontation. There's another group or another person, and whoever this is, the feeling exists that treating you a certain way is justified because you wronged somebody connected to them now. Like your old adversary started dating somebody new, and now this new person wants all the smoke with you. The knowledge of what's being entered into is absent. Digs are being thrown and backhanded comments are being made to get your attention. And it's just showing how low class and petty the situation is. Childish behavior is on display, like you care. You will not be in the same environment, because the desire is to cause panic. The desire is to pull everyone to one side, especially if this is family or in-laws. The desire is to avoid competition with you. You and maybe one other person emanate divine favor and authority. Normally someone else is the person that emanates that. Everyone sees that what's being presented is just a shade lamp. The imitation of the sun has been happening, and people are realizing, oh, we thought you were genuine. You're not. You're artificial. You've been faking it. There's something changing about your presence. Your presence has been breaking through rooms before you even enter. People are saying, I've never seen anyone like that before. A lot of people are in awe of you, but everyone who's familiar with you doesn't like feeling invisible around you. You do this to shield yourself and protect yourself. You're seen as someone not of this world, and there are all these clues and signs being given to you, showing you that you can move to safety. But if you stay where you are, you know what will happen. But whoever you are, you're not going to let that happen. You're waiting. You know all these wolves are behind you, but you're going to come out leading the pack. You're going to lay low and let everyone think the upper hand is theirs, and then you're going to show what you're made of by walking out the door, by blocking everyone, by telling people exactly what needs to be heard. Somebody wants their judgment to be yours, but you're waking up. You're waking up through your dreams, your visions, what you're channeling. You're realizing, I was right, I was spot on. The first time, the joke is going to be on them. The knowledge is absent about who is being messed with. The knowledge is absent about who is being talked to. A mental breakdown is coming by the time you walk out. Minds will be lost with all the studying that's been done trying to figure you out. Nothing is known. The thought exists that pulling on your heartstrings is going to work. But you see through everything now. The transfer coming your way isn't just about material wealth. It's about a complete inversion of power dynamics. Everything taken from you is being restored. Every opportunity blocked is being reopened. Every door closed is being unlocked. Every connection severed is being re-established. But it's coming back multiplied, amplified, magnified, because the universe doesn't just restore what was stolen. It compensates for the time you spent without it. It pays interest on the delay. It multiplies the return based on how much you had to endure to get here. Think about what you've survived, the betrayals that should have destroyed you, the losses that should have defeated you, the attacks that should have eliminated you. You're still here, still standing, still fighting, still rising. That survival wasn't accidental. That endurance wasn't luck. That resilience wasn't random. You were being forged, refined, strengthened, prepared for what's coming, because what's coming requires someone who can't be broken, someone who can't be bought, someone who can't be intimidated, someone who can't be controlled, and that's exactly what you've become. The shocking part of this transfer isn't just the abundance coming to you, it's the speed at which it's arriving. Things that normally take years are happening in months. Breakthroughs that typically require decades are manifesting in weeks. Opportunities that usually need lifetimes are presenting themselves in days, because you're not moving on ordinary time anymore. You're moving on divine time, accelerated time, supernatural time. And in this dimension, delays don't exist. Obstacles dissolve, resistance crumbles, opposition fails. You're in a flow state with the universe itself, and when you're in that flow, Miracles become normal. Impossibilities become routine. Exceptions become your standard. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. The beauty is you don't even have to lift a finger. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your Destiny Engine for $1 today, join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks, and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. The transfer includes relationships too. New people are about to enter your life. Real people, authentic people, aligned people. These aren't going to be fair-weathered friends who are only around when it benefits them. These are going to be all-weather companions who are there through everything. These aren't going to be energy vampires who drain you constantly. These are going to be energy amplifiers who multiply your power. These aren't going to be hidden enemies wearing masks. These are going to be genuine allies, showing their true faces, and when you meet them, you're going to recognize them immediately. Because the feeling will be different, the actions will be different, everything will be different. You're going to know them by how you feel. Anxiety won't be present around them. Drain won't happen after being with them. Confusion won't exist about intentions. Manipulation won't be felt in words. You'll feel peace. You'll feel energy. You'll feel clarity. You'll feel certainty. Real people don't leave you questioning where you stand. Real people don't keep you guessing about loyalty. Real people don't make you work to maintain connection. Real people show up, consistently, authentically, powerfully, and when this happens, you'll understand exactly what was missing all those years tolerating fake ones. The wealth transfer includes wisdom too. You're receiving insight that people spend lifetimes trying to acquire. You're gaining understanding that normally requires decades of experience. You're accessing knowledge that typically demands years of study, and it's coming to you through revelation, through intuition, through downloads, through divine inspiration. You're going to know things you have no logical reason to know. You're going to understand dynamics you were never taught. You're going to perceive patterns you were never shown. And this wisdom is going to inform every decision you make going forward, every choice you consider, every move you plan, every relationship you enter. You're going to operate from a place of deep knowing, of unshakable certainty, of absolute clarity. This wisdom makes you dangerous, because you can't be fooled anymore. You can't be deceived. You can't be manipulated. You see through lies immediately. You detect manipulation instantly. You recognize games quickly, and you disengage effortlessly. You don't need to argue. You don't need to prove. You don't need to convince. You just remove yourself. You just withdraw access. You just disappear. And that quiet exit, that silent departure, that peaceful removal, it communicates more than any confrontation ever could. It says, I see you, I know what you are, and I choose not to engage. That's power, that's strength, that's danger. People are going to test you during this transfer. Attempts will be made to pull you back into old patterns. Attempts will be made to trigger old reactions. Work will be done to activate old wounds. Because if you respond the old way, you can be kept in the old position. If manipulation into old behaviors succeeds, old dynamics can be maintained. If provocation into old responses works, old relationships can be preserved. But you're not falling for it. You've evolved past those triggers. You've healed past those wounds. You've grown past those patterns. And when attempts are made to push your buttons, discovery will happen that those buttons don't work anymore. Disconnection has happened. Deactivation has occurred. Removal is complete, because the old you is gone, dead, never returning, and the new you doesn't respond to old stimuli. The transfer is also bringing mentors, guides, teachers, people who've already walked the path you're walking, people who've already achieved what you're achieving, people who've already become what you're becoming. And appearances will happen exactly when you need them, not before, because readiness wasn't there, not after, because that would be too late, but precisely on time, divinely scheduled, perfectly orchestrated, and sharing will happen of what was learned, what was discovered, what is understood. Years of trial and error will be saved for you. Decades of mistakes will be avoided. Lifetimes of confusion will be prevented, because that's how the universe works. When readiness to receive exists, teachers are sent. When preparation to learn is present, lessons are provided. When willingness to grow appears, guidance is offered. These mentors aren't going to coddle you. Protection from hard truths won't be given. Shielding from necessary discomfort won't happen. You're going to be told exactly what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, not what feels good to hear, but what you need to hear to get where you're going. And if you're smart, if you're humble, if you're ready, you'll listen, you'll receive, you'll apply, because their wisdom is part of your transfer, their guidance is part of your blessing, their instruction is part of your preparation, and rejecting them is rejecting your own elevation. The dangerous part about you right now is that you've stopped negotiating your worth, you've stopped defending your value, you've stopped explaining your standards, you've stopped justifying your boundaries. You simply are who you are. You simply require what you require. You simply expect what you expect. And if people can't meet you there, that's fine. That's their choice, that's their limitation. But you're not lowering yourself. You're not shrinking yourself. You're not diminishing yourself. You're not compromising yourself. Not for acceptance, not for approval, not for belonging, not for love. Because you've learned that anything requiring you to betray yourself isn't worth having. Any relationship demanding you to abandon yourself isn't worth keeping. Any opportunity forcing you to compromise yourself isn't worth taking. This uncompromising stance is going to eliminate a lot of people from your life. Doors are going to close, connections are going to end, and that's exactly what needs to happen. Because mediocre people can't handle uncompromising standards. Toxic people can't tolerate healthy boundaries. Manipulative people can't survive authentic relating. Your refusal to negotiate yourself is automatically filtering your life, naturally curating your circle, divinely organizing your environment, and what remains after that filtering, that curating, that organizing, is going to be gold, pure, valuable, real, worth keeping, worth investing in, worth building with. Now it's time to row your boat right out of this situation, right out of this relationship, right out of this environment, right out of this dynamic, right out of this energy. You've been on the shore too long, watching the water, contemplating the journey, making excuses for why you can't leave yet, coming up with reasons to stay a little longer. But the portal is open, the tide is right, the wind is favorable, and every day you delay is another day you're choosing chains over freedom, choosing comfort over destiny, choosing familiar pain over unknown possibility. You've been warned, multiple times, multiple ways, through multiple people. You've had dreams about it, intuitive hits about it, signs showing you the way out, synchronicities pointing to the door. But you've been ignoring them, dismissing them, talking yourself out of them, because leaving is scary, because change is uncomfortable, because you don't know what's on the other side. But let me tell you what you do know. You know that staying is killing you. You know that this situation is toxic. You know that these people are draining you. You know that this environment is limiting you. And sometimes knowing what you need to leave is more important than knowing where you're going. When you row away, attempts will be made to stop you. Calls will come. Promises will be made. Changes will be offered. Apologies will surface. Begging will happen. Guilt trips will be deployed. Manipulation will intensify. Everything possible will be done to get you to turn the boat around, to come back to shore, to stay trapped. Because your leaving exposes everything. Your freedom threatens all control. Your escape reveals that the cage was always unlocked, and that cannot be allowed. Letting you go easily cannot happen. You choosing yourself over others cannot be accepted, but you have to row anyway. You have to keep moving. You have to keep going. You have to ignore the calls. You have to resist the manipulation. You have to refuse the false promises, because you've heard it all before. You've seen this show before. You know how it ends. Promises to change are made, but change never comes. Swearing that things will be different happens, but sameness remains. Claims of learned lessons are made, but the lessons never stick. It's all performance, all strategy, all manipulation, and you're not falling for it this time. As you row, you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to wonder if you're making a mistake. You're going to question if you're being too harsh. You're going to worry about what life looks like on the other side. And in those moments, you need to remember why you're leaving. Remember what was done. Remember how you were made to feel. Remember the lies that were told. Remember the pain that was caused. Remember the disrespect that was shown. Remember the boundaries that were crossed. Remember the ways you were used. Remember the times you were betrayed. Remember all of it, and let that memory fuel your rowing. Let it strengthen your arms. Let it clear your mind. Let it harden your resolve. Row your boat to the other side, where people value you, where people respect you, where people appreciate you, where people celebrate you, where people support you genuinely, where people show up for you consistently, where people love you authentically. Row to the side where your peace is protected, where your joy is prioritized, where your growth is encouraged, where your dreams are supported, where your purpose is honored. Row to the side where you don't have to explain yourself, where you don't have to defend yourself, where you don't have to prove yourself, where you don't have to dim yourself. Row to freedom. And when you get to the other side, when you step out of that boat onto new ground, when you look back at the shore you left, you're going to feel something unexpected. Not regret, not sadness, not doubt, but relief. Deep, profound, overwhelming relief. You're going to breathe deeper than you've breathed in years. You're going to feel lighter than you've felt in forever. You're going to experience peace that you forgot existed. And you're going to realize that you should have left sooner, that you should have chosen yourself earlier, that you should have rowed away the first time you knew you needed to. The shocking transfer is here. The wealth is releasing. The opportunities are opening. The doors are unlocking. The favor is flowing. The blessing is manifesting. The vindication is happening. The elevation is occurring. Everything you've been waiting for, everything you've been working toward, everything you've been praying for, it's all coming together, right now, in this moment, in this season, for you, because you chose yourself, because you rode away, because you walked through the portal, because you became dangerous to everything that was keeping you trapped. Welcome to the other side, chosen one. Welcome to your new reality. Welcome to your real life, the one you were always meant to live, the one you were always destined for, the one you were always worthy of. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Stand in it, own it, embrace it, celebrate it, and never ever look back, because what's behind you is nothing compared to what's in front of you. The portal opened once, you walked through it, and everything has changed. You're dangerous now, not to good people, not to genuine souls, but to anyone who ever thought keeping you small was possible, keeping you trapped was feasible, keeping you dimmed was achievable, keeping you controlled was realistic. Better tread lightly now, because you know who you are, you know what you deserve, you know where you're going, and nothing and no one is going to stop you from getting there. You're dangerous, and you're just getting started.